kind of already covered it a little bit, but I think you said that H&O was one of your favorite places to eat at back in the day.
Yes.
Yes. What was your probably your favorite thing to get from H&O back then?
Well, back then, of course, you always wanted to get when they had fried chicken or baked chicken, but I think the prize lunch was the smothered pork chops with gravy, which is what I got today.
What you got today, yeah.
Yes, and because there were a lot of people would come in and order smothered pork chops. And then a lot of times, you know, being a police officer, a lot of officers from the city and the county, both plain clothes as well as uniform officers would come in there during the daytime for lunch. And so it was a huge lunch rush. So if you didn't get in there early enough, you weren't going to get smothered pork chops because everybody got two.
Oh, okay, yeah. They were sold out. They was out.
And yeah, they were so. So if you came in like at 1 o'clock, you might have missed a lot of things that you would have preferred on the. But they always had the good hamburgers and fries and like a homemade potato salad and homemade desserts.
I hear you earlier said they did breakfast as well.
Yes, man. You know, and that's why I said, being a young officer, I mean, I was, you know, it seemed like food just kind of went through me, so it wasn't nothing unusual to go by there for breakfast and get, you know, get some scrambled eggs and sausage. And they had that country thick bacon and grits and toast or biscuits. Oftentimes you made the runs for the dispatchers because they couldn't leave the building and go to get their lunch. So if you worked that side of town, they would ask you, they would always treat you nice. They say, hey, are you going to H&O to eat today? Oh, yeah, I am, as a matter of fact. Would you mind bringing us ours? And they'd call it in and you pick it up. And when you did yours, you brought theirs back to the station. So they've been around for a long time. But my dad actually, at 19, he was singing in the quartets, gospel quartets.
Sure.
And a lot of the quartets would go in and out of H&O Cafe. And that's a lot of the gospel broadcasts, a lot of the blues broadcasts would be channeled through H&O Cafe.
It's a big part of the community.
Yeah, it was definitely a big pillar.
I definitely ate at H&O. I was a little guy back then. I remember my sister coming home with the gumbo. That was my favorite thing.
Yes.
But what the big picture that I'm getting is that H&O was a meeting place for the community, like you said.
It was a social.
Yeah,
it was a social
you had
spot.
The community who lived around there on the east side. All the officers who worked on the force used to stop there for lunch, and it's very connecting, reminiscent of what we have right here at Inglewood, all in one. I know I can come in and see whoever. When I came in earlier today, I saw my barber over in the corner and know the people who work here. It also kind of connects me to you yourself out being the candidate. It speaks to the fact that you are a local kid that grew up in the community, and as a voter, it gives me a great perspective on you just being connected to your community and someone who has their arms open to all who have needs. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Well, it's a powerful thing because then they're not just voting for a candidate because the candidate is popular. They're voting for a candidate because they know him either or her through somebody or through direct experience.
And he's tangible, you know. Like you might can come in here during the weekend and find Mr. Alexander and enjoy this mother pork chop. So you want to talk to him, you know how to reach him.
Or talk at me because I'm on.
Right.
But yeah, that is interesting because even I imagine if we had gotten here earlier, you probably see some people from downtown, from the courthouse,
probably so,
from South Palafox that work down there every day. They come through here, so it becomes and that's why I said it was a 21st century H&O Cafe, because it becomes a hub in which you see a lot of people coming in and out, and people from hospitals are coming in and out of here. Churches now on Sunday. I'll tell you something. You need to get in line before 4 o'clock.
Get your blessing.
You know, get your blessing, because if you're not in line by 4 o'clock and the door locked, you know.
they do. Now, do you cook? No.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't really appreciate food without cooking it. You know.
That was Theo stole my question. That was
I'm trying to start something.
Next question.
I'm trying to start something. Who cooked the best out of these two? Challenge coming.
And you know what? I'm the oldest of 5, and so when my mom and dad started working, my mom worked for the school district for about 28 years, and so a lot of times, you know, she had to work extra jobs. My dad worked, and he worked over in Pace at the American Cyanamic plant. He also worked an extra job. So when I became a police officer, guess what happened? I wound up having to work extra jobs because there were things you wanted to provide for your family. And even now, I understand it from a parental and a child's perspective, but I also understand it from an officer perspective that might be raising their families in this area as well. And that's why there's a lot of great things I'd like to do to enhance the quality of life for both the community and for officers that serve and protect our community. And that's about being connected so that you know people, not just because you pass them every day, but you get to know people because you have interactions with them, you work with them on problems or things that are important to them. And I think that's very powerful when you get that in a leader, because now the leader can't lead without subconsciously knowing that it's not about me, and it's not about one particular part of the community. It's about everybody, because you know people that have needs, and you know people that are probably fearful of things that they don't understand. So you got to help them get through those periods of time in life that they don't understand. And I saw a lot of those type of folks come in and out of H&O, and it's a blessing today just to see those kind of people coming in and out of here. I can start naming folks, but I'll miss somebody, and they'll say, well, you didn't call my name. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. You know, and see, that's what a heavy meal will do to you. It'll cause you memory.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but I love to cook. I cook.
Are you more of a grill man, or you like to whip it up inside on the?
I like to whip it up inside, but I love the grill now. The grill, you know, because it tests you. And you know,
you got to have some metal now.
Because when you get people that know good food, you know, it's like you take
them hot dog burnt, but the ribs not burnt.
Right. So don't burn everything.
Right.
So you got to get the coals right. You know, you got to know when to put the meat on, and then you got to know the prep. How important prep is, and to maintain the flavor of your meat. Because what you like to do is you like for somebody to eat your ribs and say, man, I'm not gonna put any sauce on these, just good by themselves.
Thank you, Coach.
And see, when your cooking techniques is considerate of those who might be at the point where they're about to lose all their teeth, so the last thing they can do is lose their teeth and the meat you cooking, you know. So and steaks is another thing, and so you know, learning how to cook at an early age, because I had siblings. I think I cooked my first full Thanksgiving dinner at the age of about 16 or 17, you know.
Hey,
and so I can bake turkey, fried turkey. Now, don't ask me to bake cakes.
That's a whole different ball.
You know, that's out of my arena. I love red velvet. I love German chocolate. I love that coconut cream cake. You know, I love that chocolate cake. With the chocolate icing, but I will leave that to those who specialize in that. And I've learned over a long time ago, sometimes you need to just be able to appreciate that you're around some people that know how to do
stuff.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Oh yeah. We all have a cake lady or or whatever we use.
Yeah.
The Hunter brothers have definitely featured many a cake shop in our journeys here.
And I didn't tell y'all this, but going through the line, I was fighting the temptation because there was a piece of German chocolate cake over there. I said, I don't need all of the witness to be doing this. So I did good. So I did good.
He don't have no cake. He ain't nowhere.
But the next time I come in here, I might grab 2 slices, you know.
That's all right, man. I like that. I think the food portion is a very important concept for any man in general. I love a man that can cook. I'm a cook myself, like you said. I started young. My mother started teaching me to cook when I was 10 years old. And bless her heart, I've pretty much taken over. She, you know, you always love mama's cooking. I love mama's burgers, mama's fried chicken. But she's crazy about my food now.
And it's a blessing to be able to go back and cook for your mom. I get to do that I got to do that for Mother's Day because, of course, we didn't want to take Mom out. Mom just celebrated her 80th birthday, so we didn't want to take her out in a restaurant. Mom. So we got her at my house, and man, we did the garlic mashed potatoes and did a nice steak. She said she wanted a steak, and when she said, "Ooh, this steak is so good and tender," and you know, we put the Heinz 57 and she said, "Oh, you don't need any sauce." I was like, man,
his head got so big. His head got real big. Probably he couldn't put it in the dope.
I don't have to make anybody else happy. I made my mama happy, so you know that's all that counts.
Right.
So, but yeah, cooking, and my son, he now likes to cook. My daughter, she grew up. We had this treeless tree house that Amber. Yeah. So she would get me in there because a lot of times I was the playmate for the day, so I had to try to eat the mud pies, and she said, "Eat it." So everything she saw parents do to make children eat food, she did it to me in there, and I was like, "This is abuse," you know. But guess what? The girl didn't stop cooking. She got an easy bake oven, so now she can bake up some stuff. Right. Now, have you ever had blue velvet cupcakes?
No, I've never had blue velvet cupcakes.
I had a blue velvet sport coat.
Yeah. Just like you got red velvet cupcakes, she can make blue velvet, green velvet cupcakes, and I'm telling you, man, it'll mess your taste buds up. You say, what? So that cooking kind of runs down through our family. And of course, my mother-in-law was a good cook, and so you know, we just. So I think cooking is just kind of an experience that.
How about seafood? Are you a seafood man at all?
I love seafood, man. I love the fish.
We know we're on the water. I'm about to say most of us grew up fishing and frying
crabs, man. And it's like, you know, every now and then you can get your nice, you know, fried crab, blue crabs. You know, they don't let them grow big enough now.
Right.
You know. But you know, fresh flounder and fried grilled.
I'm a grouper guy myself.
The grouper is awesome, man. You ever had it on the grill?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's you know.
My mom made it on the grill.
Yeah, that's and my, you know.
Yeah, I love my.
That's good, man. So
yes,
I mean, you know, so that's a southern. To me, that's a southern thing because if you can't cook and you're from the south, they're gonna look at you like, well, what happened? You know. So you had a bunch of siblings that could cook for you. Somebody in your family can cook. Yeah. Right. So, but when we start having family reunions down here,
yes, sir.
You know, they was like, we'd be glad to come back to Pensacola because they knew they were going to eat good.
Right. And most Southern families don't order out for big stuff. We get in the group together, auntie mom them, sister them, we throwing down. It's just like I said, it's all about the community. I know one thing that's essential to not just black culture but all culture is family, is food, is togetherness, and those three things all work together. That cohesion. Just like and I say, to me, it just really speaks to yourself as a candidate. I can see the way that you will work together with your constituents and all of those to really do what I feel like is a hands-on job. A sheriff position is a hands-on job. We spoke earlier about how it's a lot different from a mayoral position or something downtown, which people kind of probably perceive as more of a white-collar position. But we know sheriff. We'll get in there in the community.
You gotta get your hands.
There's no question that Mr. Alexander absolutely is a man of the community.